I now call the Iberia Parish Economical Development District Number 1 meeting to order. It's Wednesday, June 11th, 2025. The time is 5:46. We will have the prayer by Councilman Michael Landry and the pledge by Councilman Brian Napier.
Okay.
Councilman Landry?
Lord, thank you for allowing us to come together one more time. Thank you for showing people in this audience and over the Iberia Parish that we can work together as a council and keep this parish moving forward. I say one, our Father, for all those deceased members and those who are sick. Our Father,
who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Mr. Napier?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Tommy Pollard, Michael Landry, Marcus Broussard, Lloyd Brown,
Here.
Warren Gotchison,
Here.
Natalie Broussard, Dustin Swear, James Trahan,
Here.
Scott Ronsonet, Brock Pellerin, Brian Napier, Lady Fontaine Brown, Cayman Crapel, Chad Mocherin.
All right, we have 9 members in a quorum. I need a motion to go into public comments. I have a motion by Councilman Michael Landry, a second by Councilwoman Natalie Broussard. Please vote your machines to go into public comments. All right, we are now in public comments. Seeing and hearing none, I need a motion to go back into regular session. I have a motion by Councilwoman Natalie Broussard, a second by Councilman Warren Goshasan. Please vote your machines to go back into regular session. We're now back in regular session. We have the approval of the minutes, regular minutes of May 14th, 2025. I need a motion to accept the minutes. Have a motion by Councilman Warren Goshasan, a second by Councilman Michael Landry. Please vote your machines to accept the minutes. That motion carries. Next, we have special business. There's none. Ordinances introduced for public hearing, none. Resolutions, summary number 10, introduced by Warren P. Goshasan Jr., District 5. Madam Clerk.
A resolution amending the 2025 Economic Development District Number 1 fund budget in the amount of $490,000 for Lewis Street Overlay Project additional drainage, all to be funded from fund balance previous years. Note, a motion to suspend the rules will be needed as this item was not considered by joint committee.
All right, I need a motion to suspend the rules. I have a motion by Councilman Warren Goshasan, a second by Councilman Brian Napier. Please vote your machines to suspend the rules. All right, that passes. Rules are suspended. Now I need a motion to open up summary number 10. A motion by Councilman Warren Goshasan, a second by Councilman Brian Napier. Councilman Goshasan?
I'll waive, Mr. Chair.
Councilman Goshasan waives. Councilman Napier?
I'll waive.
Councilman Napier waives. We have Ms. Natalie Broussard.
Yeah, I just would like Mr. Goshstan to explain what the additional $490,000 is for.
Those are for the pipes to be changed, the cross pipes, the drainage pipes
Yeah,
underneath it.
I realize that. I just wanted you to explain it to the public a little bit more in detail, what we're doing with those.
I was planning on doing that in full council.
So you don't want to do it in,
I mean, we're changing out the pipes. The pipes are bad. Majority of them are corroded. So there's no sense of spending $1 million+ when the pipes underneath are bad. So we just soon change them while we're there.
trying not to waste our money doing the road repairs without doing the repairs of what needs to be done underneath.
I agree.
That's all I have.
All right. Ms. Broussard, you is back. I have Councilman Brock Pellerin.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Warren, these are the numbers we got back from Matt and them, so this is gonna be enough. We won't have to come back on it.
According to the estimates.
All right.
Now, again, it still have to go out for bid and all that. You know how that
Yeah.
goes, so.
All right, I'm good.
All right. Mr. Pellerin, you is back. Seeing no other questions or comments, please vote your machines. And that motion carries. We have ordinances introduced for publication. There's none. I need a motion to adjourn. I have a motion by Councilwoman Natalie Broussard, a second. I have a second by Cayman Crapel. Please vote your machines. Brock? Hey, Brock?
You can vote now.
All right. Time is 5:51. Meeting is adjourned. I'll call Iberia Parish Council meeting to order. It's June 11th, 2025. The time is 6 o'clock. We will have the prayer by Councilman Michael Landry and the pledge by Councilman Brian Napier. Councilman Landry?
All one more time, I want to ask you to look down upon this council, look down upon our state officials and our federal officials. We're going through some trying times, but with your will be good. I want to say one, Our Father, for everybody. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Councilman Napier?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Francis Pollard. Michael Landry. Marcus Broussard. Lloyd Brown. Warren Gotchison. Natalie Broussard. Dustin Swear. James Trahan.
Here.
Scott Ronsonet. Brock Pellerin. Brian Napier. Lady Fontaine Brown. Cayman Crapel. Chad Monterin.
All right, we have 11 members in a quorum. We'll go into council member announcements. I have one by Councilman Cayman Crapel.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to pass on to the council today, and maybe our parish president may mention it, but today myself, the parish president, CAO, and our assistant director from Public Works met with a company to discuss maybe potentially lowering the engineering costs on our roads. Some of these may be shorter roads, less traveled. There is a company that's been doing it for other parishes a few years now, and they kind of told us their process, and it was pretty good, very insightful. But hopefully we can get something done with that and stretch our dollars a little bit further. So I'll kind of keep everyone updated as it goes, and hopefully we could do something. Thank you.
Councilman Crapel, you is back. Next, we have Councilman Chad Monterin.
I just want to inform the public that Water District 3, their monthly meeting times have been changed from 6 o'clock to 5:30. It's still every third Monday of the month, but it will be at 5:30, 4104 Coteau Road. If anybody gets a chance to attend those meetings, they'd love to see y'all there. Thanks.
Councilman Monterin, you is back. Next, we have Councilwoman Natalie Broussard.
Yeah, last Thursday night, CERT had their parish prepared meeting at the Slyman. We had meteorologist Dave Baker there to give us an update on what to expect with this hurricane season. CERT did their presentation on how to be prepared individually for the storms, and then we had Brandon Miguez, our director of the Office of Emergency Management, there to give his insight as well. Mr. Reshore did come. We appreciate that. Want to give a shout out to Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser's office in Volunteer, Louisiana. They provided the items to give to all the attendees. We were able to give them a waterproof document bag, a personal hygiene kit, and a first aid kit to kind of start off their disaster kit. Encourage everybody to get prepared for hurricane season and get your kits ready. You cannot be prepared too soon, so start getting prepared now. I also want to give a shout out to our emergency management director, Larry. I can't tell you over and over and over again what a good hire I think he is, and what he's doing for Iberia Parish. The things that he's done to get prepared. He's been having almost weekly trainings. I went to 2 trainings last week at his office and a training again this week. We have another training next week. So he is doing a phenomenal job on behalf of government, getting as prepared as we possibly can be for a disaster. And Parish Prepared was about helping individuals to get prepared as possible, as much as they can individually. So with that being said, just keep adding to the prayers that we are prepared for the worst, but praying for the best. So, how you?
For sure, you is back. Next up, we have Councilman Michael Landry.
Piggybacking on Natalie, I was in the training this morning with Natalie, who represented CERT, and we are in training right now in case we have to have if we have to evacuate the parish. I'll be the parish liaison between me, Larry, and Brandon, and whatever, to pass on messages. So
In Monroe.
in Monroe, West Monroe, at that. So me and myself and Brandon went up there a couple of months ago. They were very receptive and all that. So hopefully we don't have a bad hurricane season, but we are preparing for the worst. So thank y'all. I'm good.
Councilman Landry, you is back. Seeing no other council member announcements, we're going to parish president announcements.
In reference to what Michael was saying, and Natalie, it's a lot of work involved in trying to get prepared for these types of emergencies. And not only the emergencies when we're talking about a hurricane, we're talking about any type of emergency. And Natalie did a great job the other night. I thought it was very, very well presented. Talk a little bit about what Cayman was talking about earlier, because actually tonight Bo is actually going to read the parish president's report. But in reference to what Cayman was talking about earlier, today we went out, it was Matt with Public Works and Cayman and Bo and myself, and we met with a company. Last week I went to take a look at some roads in St. Landry Parish that was actually done, roads that you really don't need to get engineering on. You're just trying to overlay these roads, and you can actually get them done much quicker and at a less expense. So this is something that we're going to be proposing to Iberia Parish. With the monies that we get, that's not necessarily going to be used to pay the debt service. So it's a big thing for Iberia Parish. I think what some people might see, their road may get done quicker than roads that's actually on the priority 1 list, because we're not going to be going through all of the work that's actually done, preparation that's actually done when you get an engineering company involved. A lot of roads you need engineering companies to be involved, but some of them is simply overlays, and that's what we're trying to do, get them overlaid correctly and move on. Bo is going to do the reading of the parish president's.
Good evening. Litter abatement took place on Saturday, May 31st. A total of 3 people participated from 8 a.m. to noon. 60 bags of trash were collected around North College Road and the overpass at Darnell Road and Highway 90. From May 28th through June 10th, the Public Works Department completed several tasks which included culvert repair, tree cutting and removal, debris pickup, road patching, road repair, slash busing, and other work, as you can see detailed on the screen, along with the districts where the work was performed. Thanks. Last week, members of the administrative staff and the department directors visited home to tour the Falgood Canal Floodgate and Elliott Jones Pump Station. These structures, part of the Morganza to the Gulf system, are similar to the flood control features planned for Delcom and commercial canals in Iberia Parish. This site visit is part of our ongoing partnership with CPRA, which has included these local projects in its 2025-2026 annual plan. Seeing these facilities in operation reinforce our commitment to building modern, effective flood defenses here at home. We will continue working with CPRA to move these projects forward, and will provide updates as design and funding progress. These improvements are key to protecting our residents and building a stronger, more resilient Iberia Parish. This is obviously the pumping station.
This is actually the pumping station. As you can see, they got all 4 in operations right now. Later, you're going to see where they're going to actually shut them down one at a time. You're basically trying to get the high water from one side to the opposite side. This is a lot of what we're going to have when we're talking about the commercial canal. It's going to be similar to this when you're talking about the commercial canal and the Delcom Canal. So this is going to be a huge undertaking that we're going to be doing in Iberia Parish, just getting ready for hopefully at some point in time, the levee system that you're going to have in Iberia Parish and what CPRA has already done the master plan for. So I'm doing something a little different tonight. I'm letting Bo read this. I think this is the first time this ever happened. So but anyway, let's move forward. Go ahead, sir.
Brooke Newland is with Fence to Maker Engineers and will be presenting on a proposal for the Coteau drainage analysis. She is a
okay.
professional engineer who has worked on both local and regional scale drainage studies throughout South Louisiana. Most notably, she was the deputy project manager and technical lead of the Calcasieu Parish Regional Watershed Management Planning Study that Fence to Maker recently completed in 2023.
Okay, Brooke is going to, you done?
She handled all aspects of the projects, including stakeholder engagement activities, public outreach and education, desktop and field data collection, H&H model development, flood risk assessments, and the analysis and prioritization of over 50 proposed flood risk reduction projects within Calcasieu Parish. At this time, yes.
Okay, so basically what you're looking at, she's hopefully going to explain all of this to you, but you actually have the watershed that was created back in the 60s or 70s, and she's going to show some of the things that we feel need to be reviewed and to actually come up with a real solution to what's going on in the Coteau area. We've been digging ditches and cleaning channels forever, but it's much more that's going on there. So council, you need to listen to what's going on so we can figure out what direction we're gonna go in once the total analysis is done.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm with Finstermaker. We recently submitted a proposal for a drainage analysis in the Coteau area. The map that y'all see here shows the channel system that we would be analyzing. And the pink line shows the watershed boundary. So everything inside of this pink line drains to that channel system and eventually into the Vermilion Basin. In the northeast, that area actually drains to the Bayou Teche. So we would utilize numerical modeling to evaluate the existing drainage system and identify where deficiencies exist within that system right now, and then evaluate potential projects to mitigate those deficiencies. Next slide.
Next slide.
Awesome. So there are 9 main tasks of the study. They're shown here along with their cost as well as their duration. The project would start with topographic survey being collected of the channel and the structures along that channel system that was just shown. We'll use that data to update the FEMA BLE model that is readily available, and that will refine the detail in the model as well as improve the accuracy of the model to be able to thoroughly evaluate the drainage system within this area. Once we identify where the flooding issues exist and what is causing them, we will evaluate up to 5 different improvement scenarios to hopefully mitigate these flooding issues. And so it'll take about 6 weeks to complete from start to finish, and the total project cost is about $82,500.
Next. Got another slide? Okay. If I can, council, we need some help. We have people, as you know, Chad, just flooding in the Coteau area. We can address it and say it's because of the work that was done at Highway 90. You can talk about the roundabouts. You can talk about all kinds of things, but we are going to have to figure out what we're going to do with all of this water. We actually have a company right now that's trying to get another development done in the Coteau area. And I really don't want to see it done until we can figure out how we're going to take care of the people that we currently have there. And as far as saying, I'm flooding on this street, come clean this channel, you go clean the channel and they're flooding somewhere else, we have to figure out what's going on. We're gonna have to do basically what they did in Youngsville. They have retention ponds or detention ponds throughout. They did it in Calcasieu Parish, they do it throughout, wherever you have a lot of drainage or flooding problems. Iberia Parish, to be frank with you, I don't see anything but additional subdivisions coming here and additional businesses coming here. So we're going to have to come up with a solution to what's going on in the Koto area. We just got a situation where a lady flood, not even in a flood zone. Again, this is, I think, her third time. We got to stop this. We have to get to a point to where we're going to try at least to figure out how to keep these people from flooding. So this is going to be my recommendation to you, and we're going to go from there. Chad, I know this is your district. You and I actually met and talked with these people. I don't know if you want to say anything else, but.
No, I think we're on the right path. Move forward.
So you're going to have an expansion later to talk about this later on, Council. At this time, I want you to introduce the next concern we have with flooding in the parish.
At this time, Royal Engineering is also preparing recommendations to address flooding in the T-Bayou area. This will require a multi-parish collaboration and is expected to be a multi-million-dollar project. We are actively working with CPRA to secure funding for this effort.
Mike.
I don't get an introduction, Bo?
Mike.
Mike Pugh.
Everybody knows Mike Pugh. He's the one that's actually doing all of the work right now for us with the flood control structures that we're currently doing. The one that we completed with Jefferson Canal North, Jefferson Canal South. They're currently doing People's Coulee. We just signed a deal for them to do Rodeo Coulees, Stumpy Bayou, and others. So T-Bayou is huge for what's going to be taking place, not only in Iberia Parish. We have to take care of what's going on in Iberia Parish, right, but it's much more than what's happening in Iberia Parish. For all of this water to drain, as you're going to hear from Mike, a lot need to be done. And this is going to be multi-million-dollar project, and we certainly don't have the funds for that, but what we do have is the communications and the relationship with CPRA, and hopefully we can make this work.
All right, so President Richard called me, I guess it's a couple weeks ago, due to the flooding. I guess it was about a month ago around Dotree Hospital, and asked us to get together a team to have a call to start talking about sort of what's going on and what we could possibly do. So Dax Dewey at Finstermaker, who I know, he's from St. Martinville. I talked to Dax. Dax says, look, man, we did a model on T-Bayou in 2012. Came up with like 8 recommendations. Parish ended up doing only one of them, which was really tree cutting and a little bit of canal cleaning. This is like 2015, so 10 years ago. Dax said he talked to some people and felt like there was a little bit of an improvement left, but there was 8 other recommendations that would have made probably some more improvement that were never acted upon. So we had a meeting. We looked at the model. We had a good conversation, and we're in the process of actually preparing a proposal to come back and we got to update the model because it hadn't been surveyed in 13 years and it's probably clogged everywhere. But there's really a big issue at hand, and if you just bear with me, this is something I've been working on for probably 3 years now. And just recently, CPRA gave us a task to start looking at this regionally. So is everybody familiar with Wax Lake Outlet, Calumet Cut? They dug it in the 50s to relieve the flooding pressure off of Morgan City. I don't know how, a lot of people don't know this, but what they did in 6 Mile Lake, which is about Miette Point, they put a big rock weir. So the water only flowed full speed in the Calumet Cut like it was a month ago. Rest of the year was a little slower. And I can't pinpoint the year yet, but in like 1988, 89, they pulled the weir. And I still don't know why they pulled the weir, but they pulled the weir, and that basically sent most of Calumet Cut, most of Chafla River going down Calumet Cut. Well, over 35 years, 40 years, the Wax Lake Delta has formed, which is great for duck hunting and habitat and land building. But if you think about it, the Calumet Cut is almost 120 feet deep at the bridge. When you get to the outlet, it's on a low tide, it's a foot deep. So the water's going uphill. Okay? Water finds its level. What's happening here, and bear with me because CPR, I say, just just gave us a task to actually start looking at this and putting actually flow gauges in and monitoring and trying to understand what is happening. But this is sort of my opinion based on looking at this the last 3 years and talking to a lot of really angry sugarcane farmers. Is the first place the water finds relief is the intercoastal canal going east. The next place it could get out is the Jaws, but the Jaws is also clogged up. It goes up the Tesh, it keeps going down the intercoastal, and it comes out by Weeks Island because there's a gap there, and you got these elevated water levels. And it is flooding. This ain't in T-Bayou. It's in Delcombe, it's in Glencoe, it's sugarcane fields on Lake Fossey Point, it's everywhere. And it's not just rainfall flooding. It's this time of year, the Calumet Cut is high. We get a south wind for 3 or 4 days and a high tide, and everybody's flooding. We never flooded before, so something's changed. So part of this T-Bayou problem is tied to that. So part of what we're gonna do is work with CPRA and tie a lot of these models in, because yes, T-Bayou needs to be cleaned. Yes, we need to take the trash and the trees and clean them out, but T-Bayou drains into the Lake Fossey Point, which drains into Bayou Teche, which drains into the Gulf of Mexico. So what you had a month ago, you could dig T-Bayou 100 feet deep, it don't matter. It's hitting the Gulf of Mexico. It can't get out. So there's a bigger picture here, which makes it more complicated, it takes it longer, but it gives us access to a lot more money.
Right.
Because it's not just a small little parish drainage issue, it affects everybody. We already had some conversations with CPR about this, so we expect to have something in front of y'all, hopefully by next meeting, and start as soon as possible. And then come back about 90 days later and make some recommendations. These are the things we think needs to be done, and this is how much it costs. And like he said, most of them are probably could be too expensive for the parish to pay for, so we're gonna have to go get the state to pay for it.
And that's where we're at. I mean, as you know, T-Bayou is a major concern. It's not something that, it's a big concern. It's a multi-parish concern. It's gonna cost some dollars, and if I had to guess, you're talking probably between $5 and $10 million.
Oh, it's more than that. When Fenstermaker did the report, made some of the recommendations 13 years ago, the cost was $10 million.
So you know we don't have the funds for that. But we have to address this thing. We have to make it to where we try to stop we have to address it long term. We can't just be going try to cut a tree like we did in 12, whatever it was. We need to address this thing and try to make it work for the parish. This parish have a lot coming again, and we need to get this parish in a position to where we're going to be able to handle what's going on. In fact, we have one area that's going to be going into T-Bayou that we're not talking about called the Ridge. The Ridge, I think it's called?
Test Ridge. The
Test Ridge. And all that water going to drain to T-Bayou. So we have to get to moving, and that's going to be many houses. You know.
Well, and then even to further elevate the Gulf of Mexico's influence, sometimes, so you have some pipes right about Dotrieve Hospital that go from T-Bayou into Bayou Teche, and then you have the Far Canal, which is about halfway that drains into Teche. Sometimes the Bayou Teche is flowing into T-Bayou. So if you get, yes, it's going the other way.
Yeah.
It's flowing into T-Bayou. So you get a rain event, you catch a 5-inch rain by Dotrieve Hospital, and you just so happen to have an elevated Bayou Teche.
That's a problem.
The water's coming in from the Teche, and it can't get out. There's nowhere to go.
That was a Fenstermaker design project for the city under the statewide flood control program.
Yeah.
If you pull it up, Fenstermaker designed that to alleviate the flooding.
The Far Canal?
Across the Bayou.
Yeah.
The set of pipes, box covers from T-Bayou all the way to Bayou Teche.
Yeah.
You need to pull that up, because that's a starting point to see what they did in the past.
What year was that?
Oh, I wasn't even in the court, I was before I was in here.
Oh, so like
That was
30.
a long time ago. The city did that alone. T-Bayou diverted.
Oh, that might be what.
Statewide flood control funding.
If I can, Mr. Chairman, Craig might be talking about what Pat Viator was talking about. That's around maybe 84.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
That's what it is.
They still there though.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
it's box covers.
That's what it is. Actually, we seen
You
them.
couldn't
I
even
went-
have it on Parkview, that
Yeah.
Parkview Lewis Center, it was open for so long, it was a massive project.
Yeah. Okay.
But these water levels they really just started showing themselves the last 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a camp at the point, my grandfather put it there in 1980, and maybe once a year we get that high tide, get a little water in the camp. It happens every week now, this time of year. If you're there for a weekend, you better believe it's gonna get flooded.
Because it's underwater.
Yeah, because it's 3-4 foot of water sometimes. So something is happening. Like my gut tells me it's the Calumet Cut. Because our subsidence rates here in Iberia Parish are far less than the east side. And we're thinking, but it's small. Sea level rise is the same for everybody. Sea level hadn't risen 3 feet in the last 30 years. So,
Alan Dagg was mayor. That was a long time ago.
Okay.
any questions?
We have a
Any
question
questions for
by
Mike?
Councilman Scott Ronson.
I just want to, if you don't mind, when you come back, bring the Cliff Note version of all the models y'all did. When we put the money in with West St. Mary Parish and y'all put all those gauges out, basically from the wax going out, if I
We didn't
remember
do
right.
that.
They
That
did-
was a
who
company out of
Who was
Arkansas.
that?
that did it.
Oh,
That
that
was
was Ben.
T-Baker,
No, it
yeah.
was Ben.
That- T. Baker, that wasn't,
We have all that data though. So
But
T. Baker Smith hired a company out
The
of
reason I'm
Arkansas.
asking to bring it is all the people that don't know
Right.
exactly that what we know.
right.
Yeah, so there's that
T.
model.
Baker Smith, I think is the name.
The Watershed Initiative has a model that handles everything coming from like St. Landry Parish down through Catahoula that ultimately goes where T-Bayou ends.
Yeah.
And then there's another model in the Vermilion. What CPR is paying us to do is tie them all together. So we're gonna take whatever we do in the T-Bayou, what Finstamaker does for us, and tie it all in one knot. So there's some interim measures at T-Bayou that we'll better do kind of quickly maybe. So like, it'll be like step 1, 2, 3. Step 1 and 2 may just be, let's go dredge it because that's just being good stewards of the,
Right.
you know, of the people.
Trying to
But
get it to flow.
you gotta cut the trees again, you gotta take the obstructions out, but beyond that, it's gonna be some more bigger tick items. But the good news is because it affects everybody, it no longer those dollars. If I can't go to CPRA and get the money, or
You
DOTD,
got problems, yeah.
we got problems.
Big problem.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mike.
Councilman
Appreciate you.
Councilman, years back, we have Councilman Brock Pellerin.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mickey, I know, a issue too is we get all the water from north of us. Is there projects that we can maybe look north of us to retain some of that water from sending it down so quickly? I mean, that's a big issue too.
That's one thing we were talking about with CPRA, is there a way to get the water maybe like above Catahoula and get it into the Chaffalay Basin before it gets down that part? You mentioned Bayou Teche divides it, so what they're seeing in Coteau, totally different watershed. That's coming from Lafayette and Youngsville, but that water comes from St. Landry Parish all the way north of Port Barry and makes its way essentially between the west levee of Chaffalay Basin and Bayou Teche.
Yep.
And it all funnels in right there, right about Lake Dauterive before it opens back up into the Bayou Teche. So yeah, I mean, everything's on the table.
Because they got a bunch of development up there too, and every time you put concrete down, you're taking off green space, so that water gotta go somewhere.
Nothing's off the table. We're gonna look at every option.
Okay. Thank you, Chair.
All right, Councilman Pellerin, years back. Seeing no other questions, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Mike.
Mr. Pierce.
Appreciate you.
Next week is Pele Mosquito Week. Our mosquito control department will be set up at libraries across the parish with educational displays and prize giveaways for visitors. The list of locations is shown on the screen. Be sure to follow the Mosquito Control Facebook page where they'll be sharing helpful tips and information. Now I'd like to show you a video that highlights some of the important work our mosquito control team does, some of which you may not be aware of.
Each week, technicians place and monitor 24 rabbit traps across Iberia Parish. These traps are designed to attract female mosquitoes ready to lay eggs, specifically the southern house mosquito, our area's main West Nile virus carrier. The traps use fishy-smelling bait and a small fan to collect the mosquitoes. Then they're brought back to our lab for identification and counting.
The reason they're called rabbit traps is because they're intended to catch the gravid female. The females are about to lay eggs. They're baited with fish emulsion, which smells very bad to us, but smells very good to these mosquitoes. And they fly down into the trap.
Only the females are sorted and pooled in groups of 5 or more before being shipped to LSU for testing. There, specialized equipment detects the presence of West Nile virus, with results typically returned within a week to help guide future mosquito control efforts. Mosquito season peaks from mid-July through early October, and public cooperation makes a big difference. Dumping standing water weekly, especially in things like buckets, tires, and bird baths, helps reduce mosquito breeding right in your own yard. From trapping and testing to community protection, Iberia Parish Mosquito Control is working for you every step of the way.
All right.
Don't forget to sign up for Iberia PINS, our parish information notification system. It's free, easy, and keeps you informed with emergency alerts and important updates by text, call, or email. Sign up at iberiaparishgovernment.com or smart911.com. Iberia Parish Government is currently hiring for several positions. You can see those listed on the screen. For more information about these positions and to learn how to apply, please visit our website. We encourage all qualified candidates to explore these opportunities and join us in serving the residents of Iberia Parish. And last but not least, please remember to visit the Iberia Parish Government website. Please let us know if any changes are needed. If you see anything that needs to be addressed, you can send an email directly to us from the contact page or give us a call and we'll take care of it promptly. Thank you.
We have a question by Councilman Brock Pellerin.
Thank you, Chair. Larry, do you have any information on the bridge closure on Darnell Road?
No.
Can we find out?
Bridge closure on Darnell Road?
Well, Bell Place Olivier Road. It's been closed for about 2 weeks now.
Parish government bridge? Oh, you're talking about the state?
State.
Oh, okay,
It's a state.
okay,
No,
wait
no,
a minute,
it's a state.
okay,
It's
wait.
a state.
My bad.
Just want
Yeah,
you to find
I
out.
can check into that. I thought you were talking about
No,
the
no,
parish
no,
bridge.
no.
I'm like,
Not
no.
our bridge.
No. I'll find out for you guys.
And
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll find out tomorrow and I'll just put it in our little text group.
Yeah. And one other thing, being that we're talking about mosquitoes, you know, I'm coastal district and we got a lot of mosquitoes. We had complaints about the mosquitoes, and I know our trucks have GPS tracking on it.
Mhm.
Is there any way we can get, you know, we've been told that they passed X amount of days in the area. Residents are saying that the truck didn't pass, it wasn't on camera.
It's easy to do that. We have GPS,
Is
so
there
we
any
can tell
way
you
we
what to
can
do.
get, you know, the tracking on what days?
That's
they
all you need
passed?
to do is contact the mosquito control HERF department and tell them you want to find out when it went in a particular area, and by far we can get that information for you.
Appreciate it. I'm done.
Councilman Pellerin, you was back. Parish President.
I'm good. Thank you.
All right. Parish President is good. I need a motion to go into public comments. I have a motion by Councilman Warren Gustafson, a second by Councilwoman Natalie Broussard. Please vote your machines. Go into public comments. We are now in public comments. Item number 1, Madam Clerk.
Comments from the general public on agenda items.
All right, we have none. Item number 2, Madam Clerk.
Persons being considered for appointment to parish boards, commissions to address the council.
All right, we have none. I need a motion to go back into regular session. I have a motion by Councilwoman Natalie Broussard, a second by Councilman Tommy Pollard. Please vote your machines to go back into regular session. All right, we're now back in the regular session. Next, we have community events and public service announcements. There's none. Reports, finance, and administrative action, none. Reports, parish, or other governmental agencies. Number 1, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Craig Romero, Executive Director and Representative of the Port of Iberia, to address the council to provide an update on the Port of Iberia.
Welcome, Mr. Romero.
Thank you all very much. I'll be brief. I think I got a video, a 2-minute video that was a clip off of TV 10. You may have seen it a couple of months ago. They delivered a crane back in December, this company E-Crane. And after the video, I'll just speak for a couple of minutes and ask y'all what we got to ask. It's having to do with the foreign trade zone. I went to the school board last week. We've got to help this company, which is from Belgium, E-Crane. But this little video will show you what they do, and then you'll remember exactly what it was about.
The standards of industrial and manufacturing technology. As recent Rico reports, the port is currently holding a record-breaking piece of machinery that delivers efficient results.
Behind me is the largest E-crane in the United States, and as a first of its kind, this was assembled right here at the Port of Iberia, where innovative technology is reaching new heights.
Can you use both mics? This is the first of 2 consolidated. One of the large companies that work along the Mississippi River, loading grain, fertilizer, oil, coal, things that come in from other countries and things that go out to other countries.
Port Director Craig Romero says the crane will bring the efficiency necessary for a quicker, easier process to pick up and drop off products. Walking up close, you can see the sheer size. What makes it so impressive.
So this machine has a 50 cubic yard bucket on it, and it'll be able to, it's probably the most efficient way of loading and unloading ocean-going ships of any piece of equipment on Earth.
As compared to older technology, the E-Crane 4000 will likely live up to its name as the trailblazer for what is to come for the future of industrial and manufacturing technology.
To lift a ton of weight with this crane requires 20 horsepower to lift 1 ton. On a traditional crane with cables and hydraulics, it'll take 45 horsepower to lift 1 ton. So this is much more efficient in terms of lifting capacity because of the technology involved between the electrical and hydraulic, electrical hydraulics, if you will. It takes half as much horsepower to make the delivery of loading and unloading, so it's much more cost efficient to operate.
In Iberia Parish, Dawson Vito, KLFY News 10.
All right.
Y'all may remember having seen this, but a year and a half ago, this company came from Belgium, and we negotiated and signed what amounts to a 25-year lease with E-Crane. Their company is in Belgium. The factory is in Poland. They manufacture all the components of that crane you just saw in Poland, and then they put it on an ocean-going ship, ship it to the port of New Orleans, put it on flat deck barges, and they transport it to the port of Iberia. This facility is going to take care of all their cranes that they will build for Mexico, Central America, South America, and North America. This is for the Western Hemisphere, and they chose us. We're excited that they're here. A year and a half ago, they signed the lease. Well, fast forward, last month, they shipped 1 part for 1 crane here to the shop. It was a $15,000 part. The tariff was $5,000. You know, when they signed it, I even gave you a copy of the lease in this little packet, and it's got a narrative, but I've got a copy of the lease, and the owner says, Craig, I can't ship a crane from Poland to the United States right now. If 1 part cost me $5,000 on the $15,000 value, there's no way. All bets are off. So what we need to do is get a foreign trade zone established, just like we did for Seadrill and for Franks. Y'all had to do for the same thing. And we need to do that in order for them to continue to operate here. This is the picture, just to give you a snapshot of what we spent. This is their yard. This is an old building built by McDermott in the 1970s. And we've refurbished it. This is a closed warehouse. You see pictures in the back of your little handout. We built a new bulkhead right here and another one right here at a cost of about $5 million to get these people to come here. All the money we used to make these improvements, about $3.8 million, was port priority funds, Larry. They give us that. That's a 90-10 match, only available to ports. The same pot of money I used to redo that sheriff's office, you remember a few years ago that we did a deal for a short term to help y'all out.
Right.
But this is going to, what their yard is going to be like on July 11th or 12th. They've decided they're putting another crane together, just like the one you saw in the video. They have to deliver it at the end of July. But at July 11th or 12th, we're going to have a big show and tell. The owner from Belgium is coming down. I want to invite all of y'all. I'll let y'all know well in advance. But it's going to be he wants to have a party because the company that they sold these 2 cranes to on the Mississippi River, Cooper Consolidated, is the largest operator on the Mississippi River that does loading and unloading of barges. And not just in Louisiana. Throughout the country, Cooper Consolidated is big. Port of Savannah, Port of Charleston, they're all over the place. And those people had never been. Cooper Consolidated, when they came to inspect their crane, they had never been to the port of, never heard of the port of Iberia. And now they're coming to a manufacturing facility that put you and I on the map. So it made me feel good when those 2 guys were sitting down in the back of a tailgate and they had their hats Cooper Consolidated. And I know they're a big company. And I went up, just started small talk. And he said, we didn't even know this place existed. That rung a bell. I know it'll ring a bell for y'all too. But they'll all be there. The president of Cooper Consolidated will be there. And we'll try to get the governor there to try to cut a ribbon to be a ceremonial opening. But I'll let y'all know when it comes. But we need now to establish a foreign trade zone for them. Part of that process, the taxing authorities, school board last week, hopefully y'all tonight, and then spoke to the sheriff this morning. And today's his birthday, so y'all all call him and wish him a happy birthday. I don't see it on Facebook. But so I need a letter of support so we can submit to the FTZ board in Washington and get that foreign trade zone established so they can continue to function. Because we made commitments, we spent a lot of money, and they're here. And this thing's all scheduled, so I just need y'all help. I'll be happy to answer any questions. That's it in a nutshell.
Good job.
One question, Mr. Mayor, from Councilman Brock Elmer.
Yeah, Craig, talking about money, pots of money and this and that, what about the money for the roads? Is that
That's
coming?
why I'm here. Y'all got my check?
I know you were gonna try to help out and get some,
Well, we applied, and I went there today. It looks like we're gonna probably get 3 million earmarked to redo roads at the port. And it's in P2, and it'll get funded this year, and that's to fix parish roads. So that subsidizes, our responsibility in this room, but I did that. I've shot for a lot more than that, but the games they play, I think we have 3 million, a lock on 3 million. You know how those politicians are in Baton Rouge. But they look at it, and one of the comments said, well, how much you got in the last 6 years for dredging? And I said, oh, I don't remember. And then one guy in the room said, no, 126 million if you need to know, Senator. I said, no. So, they're giving what they can give, and we got 3 million now, and then y'all have 700,000 earmarked for port roads, which I really appreciate, because a lot of the TIF money is being generated at the port, especially now with these. And I want to let y'all know, y'all came to the announcement for Cajun, and Cajun started their dirt work last week on their 75 acres, and it's unbelievable what they've done in 2 weeks. Right now, it's a rain out because of last night, but you got to see what they've done. And in September, they're going to hire they'll be finished with that yard. They're going to hire 650 people in September, all new jobs out of nowhere. And the last thing I'll report on is a piece of property we're developing right behind our office. We just cleared the woods, some land we bought. We have a total of 90 acres, and we thought we'd dig a new canal through the middle. The state approved some $3 million of port priority, dig a slip all the way to Railroad Road, all the way to Crochet Road, where the railroad track is. And we were ready to go to bid, and in walks a company from Baton Rouge, Louisiana Concrete. They build foundation piles for bridges and bulkheads and overpass girders, the big concrete deals you see going on the highway with a stretch trailer. They want the whole 90 acres. They're going to build a building on that property at a cost of $63 million, and they just want a partial slip into that property. They're going to have gantry cranes in that building. They're going to do all the concrete work and then come in the building and load them onto the barges underneath the building. It's going to be a massive project, Louisiana Concrete. Currently, they're between Gonzales and Baton Rouge on I-10. You'll see that big yard full of concrete parts and pieces. And highway construction is really, that's not going away. That's like the funeral home business and law enforcement. It's just going to keep growing. But it's non-oil and gas. It's something diverse. It's something diverse. So, thank y'all. And again,
Larry? Craig, what, for the $3 million, what fund is that coming from for the state? Capital outlay? Where is it coming from?
Capital outlay.
Thank you.
Craig, good job, man.
Well,
Looking up
we all in it together, Pat. Brian, I look at you and think of your dad.
I'm telling you.
He can't get away from you, Dad. But thank y'all very much.
Is that going to be, you're going to have to do a 25% match, or is that cash? It's priority too, you said.
Match, what's that?
When you're getting funds from capital outlay, you got.
I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
That's all I want to hear. He's good. He's good. I'm better. If he's good, I'm better.
I'm not going to disagree with that.
Okay. If you're good, I'm better. Thank you. Thank you so much, Craig.
Thank you.
All right, next we have Public Work Reports. Number 1, Madam Clerk.
Public Works Department report for closed work orders dated May 14th through the 27th, 2025.
Those are emailed to you. Next, we have special business. There's none. Next, consent agenda items for public hearing and adoption. We have the minutes, regular meeting of May 28, 2025. Summary number 125, introduced by Dustin Swear, District 7. Madam Clerk.
A resolution of condolences to the family of Mr. Richard Lai Denyuson Sr., who served as former Iberia Parish Airport Authority board member, who passed away on May 21st, 2025.
All right, next we have summary number 126, introduced by Recreation and Playground Commission. Madam Clerk.
A resolution proclaiming the month of July 2025 as Parks and Recreation Month in Iberia Parish.
Next, summary number 127, introduced by Clerk of the Council.
A resolution accepting the resignation of Ms. Joanne Parker as a member of the Iberia Parish Regional Library Board, effective immediately.
Next, we have summary number 128, introduced by Clerk of the Council. Madam Clerk.
A resolution accepting the resignation of Fire Chief Guy Bonet as a member of the Iberia Parish Communications District Commission, representing the Iberia Parish Fire District Number 1, effective immediately.
All right, at this time, does anyone want to remove any consent agenda item? I need a motion to open. I have a motion by Brock Pellerin, a second by Michael Landry. Does anyone want to remove anything this time? Mr. Pellerin,
I'd like to move summary 125.
for what reason, sir?
Unanimous second.
Okay. All right. Seeing nothing else, we'll vote for all but 125. Please vote your machines. And that motion carries. Next, we're on to summary number 125. Madam Clerk.
A resolution of condolences to the family of Mr. Richard Lyle Denison Sr., who served as former Iberia Parish Airport Authority Board member who passed away on May 21st, 2025.
All right, I have a motion by Mr. Pellerin, a second by Mr. Goshasan. Mr. Pellerin?
Yes, Councilman Swear called me this week. He had a little injury, couldn't make the meeting, and he just asked me to pull this and ask for unanimous second one.
All right, is that okay with the second? All right, please vote your machines for unanimous second. And that motion carries with a unanimous second. Next, we have ordinances introduced for public hearing and adoption. Summary number 5358, introduced by Regional Planning. Madam Clerk?
An ordinance approving the reclassification request of 1.963 acres of property belonging to Gloria Como to be rezoned from R2 mixed residential to C-2 commercial, located at 3913 Highway 14 in Iberia Parish, District 5, subject to compliance with Zoning Commission Staff Report ZC 2025-0004, all as reviewed and recommended by the Iberia Parish Regional Planning Commission.
All right, I need a motion. I have a motion by Councilman Warren Goshasan, a second by Councilman Brian Napier. Councilman Goshasan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I just asked for final approval to give her the reclassification so she can go and build a business.
All right. You back, sir?
Yes, sir.
Next, we have Councilman Napier.
I'm good with that.
Councilman Napier is good. Seeing no further discussion, please vote your machines. And that motion carries. Summary number 5359, introduced by Parish President. Madam Clerk.
An ordinance amending section 2-99 emergency compensation for essential employers of the Code of Ordinances of Iberia Parish, Louisiana, to provide emergency pay for Iberia Parish government employees during disasters and emergency events, and to otherwise provide with respect thereto.
All right, I need a motion. I have a motion by Councilman Scott Ronson, a second by Councilwoman Natalie Broussard. Councilman Ronson.
We've been talking about this probably 2-3 years, and it's time to get this done. This is big to me. You know, without getting into too much detail, we're trying to cut down on the comp time, which is future cost for this parish. You know, and that cost could go from 1 times to 3 times. Right. Just off the top of my head in the future. So it's a cost savings as well as, to me, it's a budget saving. I know if you plan right, you can pull this off easy. So I say we vote yes, and I hope y'all support it. Thank you.
It is a big deal for us.
You back, Councilman Ronson?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Say something?
Councilwoman Natalie Broussard.
I don't disagree with Scott, but this is the one about emergency compensation when we're paying essential employees to work in emergency situations. I think that's a little bit different than what you're talking about, trying to switch from comp to overtime. This is our essential employee emergency compensation fund, and we're trying to make sure that this is worded correctly with FEMA to make sure that anything that we pay our employees, that we are reimbursed accordingly. And it's my understanding that there's some more fine tuning that we need to make sure that it's worded right, and legal is requesting it to be deferred at this time.
That's correct, but I think we should have it ready for next council meeting in 2 weeks.
So I would move to defer it to the next council meeting when discussion is completed.
You back.
We need to tell that, we need to be telling. that to
Councilman
Scott.
Rossini?
No, I was gonna,
'Cause he's the one
second,
that-
if we
Okay.
get to that point.
All right, let it go back. Ms. Broussard?
I would move to defer to the next council meeting.
All right. And we have a second for that, Scott Rossini.
Oh, okay.
Please vote your machines on deferment. Mr. Napier? And the motion carries with the deferment. Next, we have resolution introduced for public hearing and adoption, summary number 129, introduced by Parish President. Madam Clerk?
A resolution amending the 2025 Sewer District Number 1 Fund budget in the amount of $486,526 to reflect carryover of funding for the ongoing EDA lift station project.
All right, I need a motion. A second, I have a motion by Councilman Michael Landry. I have a second by Councilman Warren Gusherson. Mr. Landry?
I waive.
Mr. Gusherson? Seeing no further discussion, please vote your machines. And that motion carries. Next, summary number 130, introduced by Parish President. Madam Clerk?
A resolution amending the 2025 Waterworks District Number 3 Fund budget in the amount of $1,316,325 to reflect carryover of 2024 funding for the ongoing projects.
I need a motion. I have a motion by Councilman Chad Marchand, a second by Councilman Scott Rossini. Councilman Marchand?
Waive.
Councilman Marchand waives. Councilman Rossini?
Waive.
Councilman Rossini waives. See no further discussion, please vote your machines. And that motion carries. Summary number 131, introduced by Airport Authority. Madam Clerk?
A resolution amending the 2025 Iberia Parish Airport Authority Fund budget to reflect carryovers of the following 2024 projects. One, to carry over federal funding in the amount of $56,294 for Rehab North GA Taxiway Reconstruct Connector Project. Two, to carry over state funding in the amount of $74,953 for Lemire Obstruct Removal. And three, to carry over state funding in the amount of $4,119 for Rehab North GA Taxiway Reconstruct Connector Project.
I need a motion. I have a motion by Councilman Scott Rossini, a second by Councilwoman Natalie Broussard. Councilman Rossini?
Waive.
Councilman Rossini waives. Councilman Lady Broussard?
Waive.
Councilman Lady Broussard waives. Seeing no further discussion, please vote your machines. And that motion carries. Next, summary number 132, introduced by legal counsel. Madam Clerk?
A resolution authorizing the parish president to execute a cooperative endeavor agreement by and between Iberia Parish Government and Capital Area Finance Authority to allow CAFA to offer its homebuyer grant programs in Iberia Parish to qualified Iberia Parish constituents through program-approved lenders.
Need a motion. I have a motion by Councilman Michael Landry, a second by Councilwoman Natalie Broussard. Councilman Landry?
Waive.
Councilman Landry waives. Councilwoman Broussard?
Waive.
Seeing no further discussion, please vote your machines. And that motion carries. Next, summary number 133, introduced by Clerk of the Council. Madam Clerk?
A resolution authorizing the council chairman to execute the contract between Iberia Parish Government and Civic Plus LLC, the acquirer and sole owner of Municode LLC, formerly known as Municipal Code Corporation, for a full-service supplement subscription and online code hosting subscription for the compiled ordinances of Iberia Parish, Louisiana, and further authorizing payment in the amount of $1,650 in accordance with said payment schedule, which has been budgeted in the 2025 general fund budget.
I need a motion to open. I have a motion by Councilman Michael Landry, a second by Councilman Scott Rossini. Councilman Landry?
Waive.
Councilman Rossini?
Waive.
Seeing no further discussion, please vote your machines. And that motion carries. Next, we have summary number 134, introduced by Airport Authority. Madam Clerk?
A resolution amending the 2025 Iberia Parish Airport Authority Fund budget in the amount of $250,000 from previous year's fund balance to repair maintenance airfield to complete striping project at Acadiana Regional Airport.
I have a motion by Councilman Rossini, a second by Councilwoman Broussard. Councilman Rossini?
If anybody's curious as to why that amount is so big for an airport, it's a very expensive paint which has some certain things in it so the airplanes can see it. I just thought I'd throw that out there. So people don't think we're striping a little road for $250,000. Thank you.
Yield back. Councilwoman Broussard.
Wave.
Councilwoman Broussard waves. Seeing no further discussion, please vote your machines. Mr. Pellerin? And that motion carries. Next, we have summary number 135, introduced by Lady Fontenette Brown, District 12. Madam Clerk?
A resolution amending the 2025 general fund budget and authorizing registration fees for members of the Iberia Parish Council to attend the 2025 NACO Annual Conference from July 11 through 14, 2025 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, at a total cost to the parish of $620 per attendee to be funded from fund budget previous year's line item.
I need a motion to open. I have a motion by Councilman Michael Landry. I need a second. Not all at one time. I have a second by Councilman Tommy Pollitt. Councilman Landry?
I waive.
Councilman Landry waves. Mr. Pollitt?
Waive.
Mr. Pollitt waves. Next, we have Councilman Brian Napier.
So, Ms. Is anybody wanting to go here? Does she? She's not here. How much money we have in that fund?
This is previous year. It's not coming from the travel budget.
There is money in the fund. I checked it, but I don't have that total.
So you saying to go to Philadelphia, $620?
That's just the registration. Just $620 for the registration fee only.
That's all.
And Lady Fontenette Brown is the only one that I'm aware of that would like
Hotel.
to attend.
Okay. I'm good, Mr. Chairman.
Yield back. All right, Mr. Napier yields back. Seeing no further discussion, please vote your machines. Mr. Napier? And that motion carries. Summary number 136, introduced by Scott Ronsonet, District 9. Madam Clerk?
136. A resolution requesting administration to update the previous Archer pay tables of 2012 in accordance with Section 4.07 of the Iberia Parish Government Personnel Policy.
I need a motion. I have a motion by Councilman Scott Ronsonet. I need a second. A second by Councilman Michael Landry. Councilman Ronsonet?
We're just getting up to speed, basically, on where we should have been going the last 10, 12 years, whatever. We kind of had a little shortfall. We're just catching up, making sure we according to plan. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Are you back?
Next we have Councilman Landry.
I'm good.
Councilman Landry waves. See no further discussion, please vote your machines. And that motion carries. Next we have summary number 138, introduced by Warren P. Gossett. 137, introduced by Scott Ronsonet, District 9. Madam Clerk?
A resolution authorizing the Public Works Department to replace the Children at Play signs in the Kyle Landry subdivision.
I have a motion by Councilman Crepel, a second by Councilman Ronsonet. Councilman Crepel?
Wave.
Councilman Crepel waves. We have, next we have Councilman Scott Ronsonet.
This one had a little hornet's nest, and the hornet's nest is in Kyle Landry subdivision, if anybody's curious. Last time, back up, 2 months, 3 months ago, whatever it was, I got 4 phone calls, very, very upset with me, okay? Because I'm the one deleted it. I'm gonna take the blame on that one. But they were very upset that we, as citizens, and control of the funds and control of the purse, do not spend a very little amount of money to put some signs that are there. And they just want to update them. And this is about the kids. I know, and we can get into the weeds. I get it, but I'd ask that y'all support this for a sign. Thank you.
All right, Councilman Ronsonet yields back. Councilman Pellerin?
Buckle up.
Uh-oh.
This is gonna open a can. I'm with you, Scott. I'm with you 100%. I'm with you 100%.
I'm not saying we're going down the perfect path. I get that.
And look, I am with you 100%. But they got 13 other ones on this council, and we will get the phone calls.
Yes.
I'm with you 100%.
Councilman Halloran,
I
you was
yield
back.
back.
Next, we have Councilman Brian Napier.
So, look, I
Think slow as molasses.
Scott, I don't have a problem with that at all, but, you know, we not being consistent. I mean, Ian has sat there. You want to help me out?
Sure,
Ian?
yeah. Okay, so the issue is whether this actually serves the public purpose. And then the second issue is, are we in compliance with the Uniform Manual on Traffic Control Devices? So the second one is important because the state has adopted the federal Uniform Manual with some modifications. The way it's important for us is that pursuant to state law, if we follow it and there's an accident with that's with proper signage that's in the manual, it lets us off the hook. I mean, it says that can be evidence of discharge by such authority of its obligations to the motoring public. So when we do the signs right, it helps us. When we do the signs wrong, all it does is create another hazard to run into. And I'm not even getting into whether or not the signs, you know, are actually alerting the public to the danger of a child being in that place, or whether the children might misinterpret it and think, okay, it's safe because there's signs out there. Let's just put that aside. Just for the second reason, we should be consistent on these signs. A sign that is in the manual, we're protected when we place it. A sign that's not, we're not protected.
This one is not in the manual?
Correct.
So I had one, a guy has called me numerous times. It's called Brock. His kid has autism. And I hadn't brought it because of, you know, and like Brock says, you know, people are watching. We do this one, which I don't have a problem with, but if we're gonna do that one, let's everybody gonna put what we need to satisfy the people we represent, and we're gonna be putting signs out. Either we do it for everybody, or we don't do it at all, or follow what Ian's saying. But I'm not against you, Scott, at all.
You were back, Mr. Napier.
I'm good.
Mr. Napier, you was back. I just have a question for you, Scott. So these signs are already there, or we're already there. Just want to replace them. So we're not putting new ones out, we're just replacing them.
I wasn't in here. So I'm thinking it was put back 12, 15 years ago.
Right. So it's not new, we're just replacing existing signs. Okay, I want to clear that up. Next, we have Councilman Michael Landry.
Just a question to legal. Could we be held responsible for putting up warning children at play? Could we be sued or anything?
Let's say, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if a vehicle runs into it, they can make the argument that this sign shouldn't have been there ever in the first place. So, I mean, if we have signs that are out there, as we learn of them, we should take them down rather than replace them.
Can't do that,
I'm just a question.
Hey, Scott, just tell him your counsel didn't do
Councilman Landry.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm finished.
Councilman Landry, you was back. Councilman Brock Pillerman.
So Ian kind of just asked my question about the signs that were already there. You know, if we can get sued for them, I mean, we should be riding around taking them down. My next question, and I don't think anybody in this room could answer this question, did Public Works put up those signs, or did the developer of the subdivision put up those signs?
Probably none of us was on this council.
Oh, no. I yield back.
Right.
Stood right, it is on parish property. And I want to say from the picture, I remember it's near the road. It's not in the guy's, or one of the gentlemen that called me. It's not in his yard. I know that. It's on the road.
Way back there was putting them signs.
Yeah.
They was putting
I really don't think the three people that are going to pass by that sign are going to hit it. That's just, I'm speculating again. I probably shouldn't, but I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
All right.
All right.
Mr. Russell, you was back. See no further discussion. Please vote your machines.
That's the debate on the sign.
And that motion carries. Next, we have summary number 138, introduced by Warren P. Gossett Jr., District 5. Madam Clerk.
A resolution amending the 2025 Economic Development District Number 1 fund budget in the amount of $490,000 for Lewis Street Overlay Project additional drainage, all to be funded from fund balance previous years. Note, a motion to suspend the rules will be needed as this item was not considered by joint committee.
All right, I need a motion to suspend the rules. I have a motion by Councilman Warren Gossett, a second by Councilman Michael Landry. Please vote your machine to suspend the rules. That motion carries. Rules are suspended. I need a motion to open up summary number 138. I have a motion by Councilman Warren Gossett. I need a second, second by Councilman Brock Pellerin. Councilman Gossett.
Mr. Chairman, it's just to replace all 9 existing pipes, the side drainage work to get that done and completed so that we can complete the overlay. I yield back.
Yield back, sir. Councilman Pellerin.
Might be the first road we get done.
On the road.
I'm good.
Yield back. Councilman Tommy Pollard.
Yes, Warren, that's gonna be enough. Y'all did studies to make sure that's enough.
That's what the engineer came back recommended.
Thank you.
You good, Mr. Pollard?
And that's the good part.
Mr. Pollard yields back. Seeing no further discussion, please vote your machines. And that motion carries. Next, we have 2 expansions. Expansion number 1. Madam Clerk, summary number 139, introduced by Chad Marchand, District 14.
A resolution authorizing the parish president to execute a contract with C.H. Mr. Maker and Associate LLC and to further amend the 2025 parish right drainage fund budget in the amount of $83,000 for the Coto Road Drainage Study hydraulic analysis to provide professional hydraulic, I can't get it out, modeling and topographic surveying services. The purpose of this expansion is to expedite the drainage study due to the recent and repetitive flooding in Iberia Parish. Note, a motion to suspend the rules is needed as this item was not considered by the joint committee.
I need a motion to suspend the rules. I have a motion by Councilman Marchand, a second by Councilman Gossett. Please vote your machines to suspend the rules.
To go into public hearing.
You gotta,
do a public hearing
you
first.
gotta suspend it first.
No, I know, but it's public hearing first.
Okay.
You gotta go,
Well-
allow the public to speak first.
All right, well, we're going to public hearing. Please vote your machines for public hearing. We're now in the public hearing.
Nobody.
Seeing no requests, I need a motion to go back into public comments. I have a motion by Scott Ronson, a second by Natalie Broussard. Please vote your machines to go back in the regular session. All right. Now I need a motion to expand the agenda. A motion by Natalie Broussard, a second by Michael Landry. Please vote your machines to expand the agenda. And that motion carries. It's now expanded. Now I need a motion to suspend the rules. I have a motion by Councilwoman Natalie Broussard, a second by Brock Pellerin. Please vote your machines to suspend the rules. Rules are suspended. Now I need a motion to open up summary number 139. I have a motion by Councilman Kamer Capel, a second by Chad Marchand. Please vote your machine.
You read the resolution. Need-
We have to have
You gotta
discussion.
have a.
Well, they cleared the board.
Oh,
Okay.
Who's first and second?
Cayman was in Chad.
Okay, Kamen and Chad. Mr. Capel,
Tell them to press the button again so you can record it.
press the button again. Chad too. Right, Councilman Capel.
I'll waive to Councilman Matra.
Right, Councilman Masseran.
I know we don't like these expansions, sorry, but it needs to be done. We, the representative with Fence to Maker told us that we're looking at about a 6 weeks time frame of getting us some information back. If we wait another couple weeks, we're adding 8 weeks to it. You can hear in the background the thunder is sitting there ready to, for the sky to open up. We need to move on this. It was a long time we should have moved on it. but we really need to get moving and keep the ball rolling on this. Y'all saw what happened last meeting with the lady that was having trouble from flooding. I think Larry touched on it 3 times and having trouble with a permit. We're finally starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe we can get some answers. And I just ask that everybody support this and get it done. I appreciate
Good
it.
enough.
Right. Councilman, my friend, you is back. Councilman Gusherson?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chad, maybe you can answer, I mean, you talked to Larry, I see Larry's not here. Was there any reason why we didn't try to go after the Go Mesa dollars to try to do this in case we needed to go after that fund to create a line item in the budget?
I think it's still because we don't know exactly what we're dealing with yet. More than likely, we're dealing with retention and
Okay.
sat in on the phone calls with
Right.
Mike and Fence Maker and all of them, and they didn't think we could use the Go Mesa funding for that. They're still going to tie in the models with the structure they want to do in Delcom. They're going to burn it all the way into Coteau because we also have the Park Purdue project and all of that. So maybe, but we need to look and see what we need.
Let's move.
And she gave us a 6 weeks timeline. So, and y'all can kind of see on those models that red. We've been saying there's a problem.
Right.
Now we know there's a problem. So.
But y'all,
That's the only reason I was asking, because if we could qualify for Go Mesa, why not establish that line item now so
Right.
that avenue's there? But again, you answered it. Thank you very much.
all right.
Right. Councilman Gusherson, you is back. Seeing no further discussion, please vote your machines. And that motion carries. We have expansion number 2. Summary number 140, introduced by James P. Trahan, District 8. Madam Clerk?
A resolution in support of sub-zone site within the foreign trade zone for ECI Gulf Coast Ports and Services Incorporated. The purpose of this expansion is to expedite due to the time-sensitive nature of this item.
All right, I need a motion to go into public hearing. I have a motion by Councilman Pellerin, a second by Councilman Landry. Please vote your machines to go into public hearing. Mr. Brown?
1 second.
Mr. Brown?
All right.
You got it?
Let's see something happening. Hold on. Okay.
All right, we're now in the public hearing. Seeing no public hearing, please vote your machines to go back into public comments. Regular session. Yeah, a second.
Motion by Natalie, second by Michael.
Got a motion by Nally, a second by Michael. Please vote your machines.
Got it?
Mr. Brown. All right. That motion carries. I need a motion to expand the agenda. Got a motion by Brock Pellerin, a second by Natalie Broussard. Please vote your machines to expand the agenda. Crapel. And that motion carries. We're now expanding the agenda. I need a motion to suspend the rules. I have a motion by Councilman Pellerin, a second by Councilman Lady Broussard. Please vote your machines to suspend the rules. Mr. Landry. Right, that motion carries. Now I need a motion to open up summary number 140. I have a motion by Councilman Pellerin, a second by Councilman Capel. Councilman Pellerin.
Yeah, I think we heard from Craig earlier, the reason for doing this. I think it's great for the parish. I yield back.
Mr. Pellerin, you is back. Councilman Capel.
Same with Councilman Pellerin. This is a business in our parish, and I think we need to help them out.
Seeing no other discussion, please vote your machines. And that motion carries. Next, we have ordinances introduced for publication. Councilwoman Broussard.
Yes, Mr. Trahan, I'd make a motion to waive the reading of the ordinances introduced for publication.
All right, any objection? Not objection.
Not at all.
Councilwoman Broussard, I have a second by,
No, I object. I'm objecting for the fact that this is villages. It should be read into the record. People are here, should do it right and properly. I object.
okay, Councilman Garcia objects. Please vote your machines on the suspension of the minutes.
Explain to us suspension means.
Capel.
There you do, some objection on the floor.
Councilman Landry and Councilman Pellerin,
To read it, to read it,
suspending the reading
to read
for the millages. And that fails. Yeah, that fails. So now we will read these ordinances for publication. Summary number 5360, introduced by Clerk of the Council, Madam Clerk.
An ordinance setting forth and establishing a property millage for General Parish, formerly known as General Alimony, which is levied on all taxable property in rural areas of the parish only at the adjusted rate of 4.04 mils for 2025.
Summary number 5361, introduced by Clerk of the Council, Madam Clerk.
An ordinance setting forth and establishing the property millage for General Parish, formerly known as General Alimony, which is levied on all taxable property in the rural areas of the parish only at the adjusted rate of 4.04 mils and authorizing an increase of said rate to 4.12 mils to be levied for 2025.
Summary number 5362, introduced by Clerk of the Council, Madam Clerk.
An ordinance setting forth and establishing a property millage for the exempted municipalities, formerly known as criminal tax, which is levied on all taxable property in the municipalities only at the adjusted rate of 2.02 mils for 2025. Note this millage rate cannot be more than half of the general parish millage rate.
Summary number 5363, introduced by Clerk of the Council.
An ordinance setting forth and establishing the property millage for the exempted municipalities, formerly known as criminal tax, which is levied on all taxable property in the municipalities only at the adjusted rate of 2.02 mils and authorizing an increase of said rate of 2.06 mils to be levied for 2025.
Summary number 5364, introduced by Clerk of the Council.
An ordinance setting forth and establishing a property millage for the public library system, which is levied on all taxable property in the parish at a rate of 4.50 mils for 2025.
Summary number 5366, introduced by Clerk of the Council.
An ordinance setting forth and establishing a property millage for the public building maintenance, which is levied on all taxable property in the parish at the adjusted rate of 4.65 mils for 2025.
Summary number 5367, introduced by Clerk of the Council.
An ordinance setting forth and establishing the property millage for the public building maintenance, which is levied on all taxable property in the parish at the adjusted rate of 4.65 mils and authorizing an increase of said rate to 4.76 mils to be levied for 2025.
Summary number 5368, introduced by Clerk of the Council. 67.
An ordinance setting forth and establishing a property millage for the public health unit, which is levied on all taxable property in the parish at the adjusted rate of 2.06 mils for 2025.
Summary number 5368, introduced by Clerk of the Council.
An ordinance setting forth and establishing a property millage for the public health unit, which is levied on all taxable property in the parish at the adjusted rate of 2.06 mils and authorizing an increase of said rate to 2.11 mils to be levied for 2025.
Summary number 5369, introduced by Clerk of the Council.
An ordinance setting forth and establishing a property millage for drainage facilities, which is levied on all taxable property in the parish at the adjusted rate of 3.91 mils for 2025.
Summary number 5370, introduced by Clerk of the Council.
An ordinance setting forth and establishing the property millage for drainage facilities, which is levied on all taxable property in the parish at the adjusted rate of 3.91 mils and authorizing an increase of said rate to 4.00 mils to be levied for 2025.
All right, our next council meeting will be June 25th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Please visit the Iberia Parish Government website to complete the stormwater management survey and view adjudicated property through Civic Source. All Iberia Parish Council and Joint Committee meetings can be viewed live during scheduled meetings on the Iberia Parish Government website. I need a motion to adjourn. A motion by Tommy Pollard, a second by Cameron Capel. Please vote your machines to adjourn. Councilman Ross in there? Michael Landry? All right, it is 7:19, meeting adjourned. Time is 7:27. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Francis Pollard. Michael Landry. Marcus Broussard. Lloyd Brown. Warren Gotchison. Natalie Broussard. Dustin Swear. James Traha.
Here.
Scott Ronsonet. Rock Pellerin. Brian Napier. Lady Fontaine Brown. Cayman Crapel. Chad Monterey.
All right, we have 11 members in a quorum. I need a motion to go into public comments. A motion by Tommy Pollard, second by Michael Landry. Please vote your machines to go into public comments. All right, we're now in the public comments. Item number 1. Madam Clerk,
Comments from the general public on agenda items.
seeing none. Item number 2, Madam Clerk.
Comments from the general public on non-agenda items. A, Ms. Margaret Gosselin to discuss her concerns regarding zoning issues in the Bayou Jack area.
All right, can you step up, Ms. Gonsalves?
Are you gonna speak on behalf of what she's saying they want me to do? Okay.
Good afternoon,
Can you
everybody.
give your name and your address, please, Ms. Gonsalves, for the record?
6414-1 Laurelville Road, New Iberia, Louisiana, 70563.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'm here again. I was here in November for Bayou Jack. Larry and I discussed something a while ago. We are trying to get the trailers and the abandoned trailers and all the trash that's coming into Bayou Jack Marina. It's starting to look sloppy, is the word I'm going to use. We have a lot of residents that live there. I have a camp there. I don't live there. But I've been there since '69, and it has gotten really, really bad. We have theft going on now. We have drug addicts in there. They renting their properties. They selling their. We don't know who the landowners are anymore. It has gotten really, really bad. So I'm here again. We came to y'all. I have all the dates down right here. And December the 20th, 2012, we went to the Zoning and Planning Commission. This has been started since 2012. Okay? January 23rd, 2013, we approved the ordinances and it reclassed to R2 to OR1 by Iberia Parish Council. It was voted on. Okay? November the 19th, 2015, Jacques Cousin got a letter, sent a letter to y'all to remove some trailers on Dolphin Road. It was done. March the 24th, 2017, on my lot, Anchor Drive, there were some trailers that was done. There, I have the lady's name and pictures that came with the trailer, pulled it there, connected it to the house next door, used the sewage line, used the water, did everything there. Larry came, saw, we had it removed. She was not from around here. She thought she could just come in and pull anything she wanted. We had her restricted, removed. Her trailer's gone. She's gone. She sold the property to somebody else. In November 2017, we got a zoning and planning commission again for the trailers on Anchor Drive again to remove them. They removed them. Since we rezoned to R1, they keep coming in, and they're coming in, and nobody's stopping them. We need to stop this. I'm sorry, it needs to be stopped. And I'm here again to ask y'all for please to help us to do this. This is unbelievable. I mean, I was born and raised in Iberia Parish almost 80 years ago. I've never seen the parish and Bayou Jack like this ever. Mr. Buddy North, Miss Elmira made this into a marina for retired people to go and build them a nice retirement place with the boat slips to retire and enjoy our last few years on earth. We are miserable. I'm scared to go to my camp right now. That is terrible. I mean, we don't know who the people are anymore. They're coming in and they leave just as fast. And I need help. We need the help out there for the zoning to be rezoned like it was in R1 when y'all voted on it. And Larry talked to Jacques Cousin a while ago because he kind of represented us at that time. And it's getting worse. It's getting bad. And Larry can tell y'all, he's come many times with me there. It's getting bad. I got to thank Councilman right here. He's done a fabulous job for us. Brock Pellerin has done a lot to help us, but he's hitting his head against a concrete wall, and I know exactly how he feels. That's how I'm feeling. And we need something done there, y'all. It was a beautiful, beautiful marina for everybody to come there and retire. They want to leave. They all leave, and they want to sell and leave because it's so bad. I mean, it's like, you don't even know your neighbor no more. You know, I mean, people that I knew there for years, they all selling and going, and they don't want to stay there because they're scared. And it's gotten really bad. So I'm hoping that we can do something again. Larry can add something to it because he just talked to Jacques to let us know about some stuff that might be able to help us with it.
Yeah, if I can, Council, I talked to Jacques Cousin just now, and they have some serious problems going on in Bayou Jack. It was R2. It's currently R1. We have people there that it's saying that when it was R2, they brought certain things there. When it was changed to R1, it was already there. So they calling themselves being grandfathered in. And if that's the case, they really are. It's like if you build a home today and your base flood elevation is 10 feet, and you build it at 10 feet, and then you come back and it goes to 12 feet, you built your home in compliance. The issue here is that I personally, let's just say you have 10 people over there that we're having these issues with. We have to look at all 10 of them because we're not taking one. You're not going to do with one because we already know that we have some people that's complaining about something taking place on the next road, and they're doing the same thing at their house on this road. So we're going to have to find out when it was done, when all of this stuff was done. And it's going to take some work, and I'll be directly honest with you. You guys know we have, and everyone knows, we only have 2 inspectors parish-wide. And we're doing what we can. Legal is working this stuff. I don't want to get into too much, but legal is doing some stuff with us. I do have a meeting that I asked Cindy earlier, 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, to set up with Miss Margaret, with me, with her son, with Ian. We want to talk about some things because she's been there for a long, long time, and we have to fix it. We gotta fix it. No,
It's zoned wrong?
No.
it's not zoned wrong. It's the deal is they got some people feel that they're grandfathered in. And if you make someone move something, and they are grandfathered in, you got a lawsuit coming. So before we can do anything, we have to make sure all of our ducks are in a row. That's really what's, in a nutshell, what's going on.
But you were saying something about changing the zone.
Oh, it was changed from
It was
R2
changed, yes.
to R1,
R1,
somewhere
yes.
around 2013.
Yeah, it was changed January the 23rd, 2013.
Yes.
The R1.
And what's happening though, the people that actually did things when it was R2, they were in compliance. And they, so
And a lot of
it's kind of complicated.
A lot of people sold their place to somebody else and they're not following the rules. They said,
Right.
okay, I bought the property, I can do this. But
Right.
they don't check with nothing, okay? They don't check with the parish, they don't check with nobody. Oh, I can do this, my land. Well, you can't do
Well,
it.
that's the next thing. So she hitting on a whole different deal. People want to do what they want to do, that's my lane.
Yeah.
But then when they have a problem with their neighbor and they need help from you, it switches now. We need the parish government to be involved. So it's tough. It's a tough position to be in. But Ms. Margaret,
Yeah.
we'll get this meeting.
Okay,
I
yes.
have
You did get her information, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Gosselin, we have a question about Brock Kellerman.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I do not have a question. I am the first line of defense on this issue.
Yes.
I've been working on this for a long time. September 12th, I got a phone call of one that was just recently moved in. Text the picture to the permits director. October 1st, I text that picture to Larry. October 27th, I had a meeting back there with probably 15 to 20 so residents. Parish president was invited, permits director was invited, zoning and planning members were invited. I was the only one that showed up. On January 6th, I text Larry about the status of this. His reply was, it's complicated, it's more into it than what it is. I said that to the people in Bayou Jack. On March 14th, I had another meeting with a different individual in Bayou Jack, trailer that was recently moved in there. This trailer was put on the property line. The slide out actually came out on the other person's property, and they tied a tarp to his fence.
That's your Sanford and Son.
Yes. But my Sanford and Son, I
That's
know.
your Sanford and Son.
Oh, I got pictures of him
I
Sanford and
text
Son.
that picture to Larry. I text that picture to our new permits director.
When was this?
March 14th.
Okay,
That's Ron LaCour. I called you about that one.
okay.
On April 4th, I took a ride back there with our permit director and our COO. Rode back there and I showed him every property that we had problems with. And this is just documented that I have on my phone, text messages, something that I can prove. Between all of this, there was multiple phone calls made to multiple people about these issues back here, and every response I get is we working on it.
Okay.
On April 11th, I got a phone call from a resident back there. We had a camper move back there for approximately a week. Somebody moved in, that's a whole nother issue, for a week, and they moved it out. On November 20th, Ms. Morgan was here. At that same podium, Mr. Richard told her we were gonna follow the ordinance. This is November 20th.
That's right.
He stated, living in a travel trailer in the parish is illegal. We had multiple people living in travel trailers in Bayou Jack. I was told multiple times that violations was going to be issued. No violations were issued. I was told by previous director, and I was told by the director now that legal was working on violations to send out. Here we are, whatever, June 9th, whatever the date is, and we have still nothing's been done.
Nothing's been
Nothing.
done.
Right.
Absolutely nothing. I'm the first line of defense, Larry. I get these phone calls every week about it.
I'm
every
glad.
week, and I get the same response. We're working on it. Something needs to be done. I'm sick and tired of these phone calls and getting the same response every time I try to get something done back there. We're working on it. Awfully long time to be working on it, and nothing's been done.
Are
done.
you finished?
Yes, I'm
Can
finished.
can I reply?
Sure.
Okay, thank you. What you just heard me say is that it's a lot involved with what's going on here, Brock. What you do, just like you're doing with the bed and breakfast thing with the short-term rental, you come here and set something up. You pass a resolution, you say, I want to create an ad hoc committee for short-term rentals. You don't attend the meetings. You don't do anything. The only thing you do is go stand in front of these people, get in front of a television camera, and say, I'm doing something. What have you come here? Hold on one second. Let me talk, because I'll let you talk. Let me talk. I'll let you. Stop. Stop.
Hey.
Let me speak. No.
Let
me speak. Let me speak. You get in front of a television camera and you try to make it look like you're doing something. How many times have you come to my office or called me? Stop. That's what I'm getting ready to tell you. How many times have you ever come here and said, Larry, let's try to do this? What you do is you talk about stuff to make yourself look like you're doing something. Stop it for a second. Stop it. Stop for a second. Stop for a second. Brock, stop for a second.
Do your job.
I'm doing my job. I want you to learn to do yours, other than stand up in front of a camera and try to say what you're doing. That's all you do. You don't participate in nothing with this parish at all. Nothing. You try to find an opportunity to go in front of a camera and say something. I just spoke to the lady. I just spoke to the attorney.
I've plenty of times.
I've been speaking to her for 20 years. Plenty of times. Plenty of times. But I don't come here and try to grandstand and make it look like you're doing something, because, Brock, you're really not doing anything at all in your district. You're sitting, for sure.
Can I go back there and tell those people to move their trailers?
Absolutely not.
your job,
Absolutely
and
not.
you're
And in order for me,
And that's what I asked you to do.
but Brock, you can't tell someone to move something that could be in compliance. What you're doing is stirring something.
I text you pictures when they
I
moved
seen
it
them.
on the property.
I seen them.
When they moved it on the property.
I seen them. I seen them.
Hey, I
Anyway,
recommend y'all.
I'm done with
I
that.
recommend y'all two get a private meeting and hash this out.
Thank you. Maybe we can do it without talking to Channel 10.
And I had nothing to do with that, Larry.
You just
called
talk.
me.
You just talk. You called me after you spoke to
And I
Channel
told
10.
them, Out of respect, you to call the
No,
administration.
but you didn't.
Y'all set up a meeting between
You
y'all two.
called me after you
Enough.
finished your discussion.
Hey,
That's what you did.
Ms.
Like you
Gonsoulin
normally
wants
do.
to speak.
Like you normally do. You tell
My name-
people. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. My name is Shannon Gonsley. I'm Margaret's son. And maybe I can just shed a little bit light on what Mr. Larry is talking about. So when the ordinance when y'all rezoned it from R2 to R1, there's 4 streets at Bayou Jack. The last street was too far gone, for better words. They had multiple trailers back there, mobile homes, and it was just too much of a deal to, I think at that point in time, nobody wanted to take that ball and run and move all those people off of there. So Bayou Jack y'all took the first 3 roads and transferred it from R2 to R1. At that point, when y'all did that, I think, if I'm not mistaken, all of the campers were removed.
Yes.
There was no one back there on those 3 roads that were in violation. All these violations, Mr. Larry, have come since then. And so, maybe, I don't know how we can check that, how y'all can check that with the legal or whatever, but all the ones that have come in recently have been called to the office. I don't know if it's your office or Mama's calling, but every time somebody shows up there, Mom makes a phone call. And it's been going on now since 2012.
Yes.
That is, in my opinion, and I'm sure in your opinion, way too long.
Right.
It's
I
getting worse.
couldn't agree with you more.
It's just getting
So all we asking is y'all to please do the job, and without further, not getting anybody upset or anything. We just want y'all to do your job. Nothing more than that, but nothing less. So that's kind of where we stand. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you. I need a motion to close public comments. Go into regular session. Please vote, Michael Landry and Scott Ronsonet, a second. Please vote your machines. Go back into regular session. Scott? All right, we're now back in the regular session. We have the minutes, regular joint committee meeting of May 28, 2025. I need a motion. Accept the minutes. Motion by Scott Ronsonet, a second by Michael Landry. Mr. Ronsonet? Wave. Landry? Wave. Please vote your machines to accept the minutes. Natalie?
She's also on the council.
All right, that motion carries. The minutes are accepted. We're gonna move around a little bit. We'll go to Public Health and Safety Committee because of, yeah. You wanna? Because both. Is think Natalie's gonna come back here? I mean,
That's the problem we have. Go ahead.
No, go ahead with it.
okay. All right. I call the Public Health and Safety Committee meeting to order. It is 7:46. Item number 1, Madam Clerk.
Discuss and consider an ordinance amending the section 20 through 26, driving through standing water of the compiled ordinances of Iberia Parish, Louisiana, prohibiting operation of vehicles in standing water, establishing penalties, and providing for enforcement through electronic surveillance.
All right, I need a motion. I have a motion by Councilman Warren Goshenson. I need a second. Second by Brock Pellerin. Councilman Goshenson?
Guess I'd ask Ms. Broussard to explain this.
I don't think she's in the room at this moment.
Okay, I'll move the table.
Okay.
Well, Brock's got a
check with the
second.
second, yeah. Mr. Pellerin?
I think she's getting Ms. Broussard.
Wasting money here.
Yes. I would ask Ms. Natalie to explain.
She won't.
You'd like to explain your items, Ms. Broussard?
Yeah, when we had the floods about a month ago, there was a lot of issues with sightseers driving through the floodwaters and driving around in our streets. And the city passed an ordinance to issue fines and try and stop that. What's happening is when the houses are flooding and people are driving through the roads, it's pushing more water and doing more damages into the houses. So this is to try and discourage the unnecessary driving through flooded waters and causing more damages to our already flooded houses. I think it would be great for us to be consistent with the city and have the same thing. We have the same issues outside of the city limits that they have in the city limits. So that's what I was trying to accomplish, is to keep our residents' homes from being damaged more when we have floodwaters.
Ms. Broussard, can you explain the electronic surveillance?
Well, obviously, the city has an advantage because they have the crime cameras, but the electronic surveillance would come from, maybe it might be captured on somebody's Ring camera or any home surveillance cameras. If you have enough evidence to prove that it happened, then you can use any of that kind of filming. If somebody films somebody driving through it and can prove it with the driver's license and stuff. The other thing in the resolution, if a law enforcement agent witnesses it themselves, they can, just like if you see somebody speeding and a law enforcement agent witnesses the crime, then they can give them a citation if they see it.
I got a question that's related to that.
All right.
All right, so is the intent to be able to issue a ticket to somebody if nobody sees the person, or if the camera doesn't
No.
accurately capture their
No.
their face? So if somebody else is driving someone else's car, that's the scenario I'm questioning about.
Yeah. No, I mean, obviously, all of your rules of criminal law are going to come in. You have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that that person committed the crime. You have to
Okay,
have
so-
sufficient evidence to prove
So
it.
the electronic surveillance has nothing to do with automatically issuing tickets to people based off their license plate?
No, you would still have to be able to prove that that person was driving.
Okay, I'm
So if you
satisfied.
have sufficient with a Ring camera, I mean, some of these cameras are pretty sophisticated. So if you have sufficient to prove the driver and the identity of them and the damage done.
I'm satisfied as long as there's no automatic administrative tickets and there's no automatic citations just based off a license plate.
No.
You're back. We have next Mr. Brian Napier, Councilman Napier.
So, I agree with what you're saying, Natalie, but not the problem, but, I mean, did you talk to the sheriff about this with all the things that's going on in the parish? That he's gonna wanna, try to handle something like that?
I have not.
You know,
but
I
I
would-
mean, if you
I-
want to
I
move
don't-
it forward, I'd be more than happy to call the sheriff and be able to report at full
I'd like
council.
for him to come here and you ask him if, in front of us, if that's something that he wants to put on his deputies. Look, I agree with you that, hey, that
Oh, I have no problem
that
talking to
is
the
a
sheriff.
problem, but, I mean, and he's the only agency that can do that. And you're gonna make, it's gonna be a monetary fine that's gonna go to the courts and all that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how that would work.
I mean, we're trying.
Just me.
Look, y'all can support it or you don't want to
Yeah,
support
I
it. It's
don't
okay.
think I can
It's a
support
matter of trying to help our residents where they're not having more damage to their homes. I mean, a lot of times they're in there trying to clean it up, and
No, I agree with
the
that.
wakes and putting more water in there. So, I'm okay. It doesn't hurt my feelings if you don't want to support it.
I'm not worried about that, Natalie. I'm not. It's not about hurting anybody's feelings. I'm just saying, you opening up a whole nother avenue for judges, attorneys, the law enforcement. I don't know, Ian, if you had any thought on it.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's always going to be a consideration, is if it's going to get enforced. I guess another thing you want to consider is the standard. Like, say I'm trying to get back to my house. The water's so high, some water's going in somebody's house. There's got to be at least something that you can use that as a defense. But at the same time, hold people responsible when they're blasting through those neighborhoods.
Yeah, and who's
So-
gonna make that judgment call?
Well, I think if
I mean,
you-
law enforcement would. That'd be a burden on law enforcement to investigate. But I mean, there are going to be obvious offenders. That's probably what the ordinance is aimed at. The people who are just blatantly in the wrong. I just,
I got you. I'm good, Mr. Chairman.
Right, Mr. Napier, you is back. Next, we have Councilman Warren Gossison.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Broussard, how many of these cases did you see over that flood event that we had in the parish?
How many did I see?
Mhm. How many was reported to you? Not in the city, in the parish.
I don't know that I have an exact number that I can give you.
1, 2, 3, more than 5?
I don't have a number I can give you, Mr. Gosherson.
That's the point of what I'm saying. I mean, some other agency is using it as a political propaganda to do something as if they're doing something. I don't want to over-regulate certain things. I haven't had an issue. How many of y'all have had calls about somebody drove through water and they put water in the house and created a wake? Not saying it doesn't happen in the world, but I'm just saying we have, I mean, you see it tonight, we have laws on the books now that they're not enforcing to continue to over-regulate certain things. And it could be a good thing. You could be onto something, but again, I just, unless there's an influx of this happening throughout the parish, I got an issue with it. But anyways.
I think one time is too much. I mean, the goal of what we're trying to do is like Ian said, the obvious violators that are just being totally inconsiderate of their neighbors. We're not trying to go after the people that are trying to get home or anything like this. It's the egregious ones. So if we give the police a tool to use, then what's the harm? If there's
well, that's what I was
not
asking.
a need,
how many did you see or hear about?
one is too many. So if they don't have to use this because there's nobody acting egregious, then great. But I don't see the harm of giving police officers a tool to use if they need it.
Well, Ian, let me ask you, in a case, if, let's just say I have my house and somebody runs by and I'm able to prove that he capriciously did it, created a rake and put water in my house, do I still have an opportunity to go to court for a civil matter in this without having this law here?
yeah, I mean, it would be in addition to that.
And that's just my thing. I mean, laws are normally created because there is an issue within the community. I just, again, I'm not up for just putting over-regulating laws. And then, again, you heard a few weeks ago it was our fault that the majority of those homes flooded. But since then, we've created this ordinance in the city. We've created an ordinance that now we're going to fine you if your grass clippings are in the street. So it's like, where are we going with this? At some point, again, people know right from wrong, and it's better for a judgment of the people that live in this community than to over-regulate. So I yield back.
All right, Parish President.
In the parish, basically what we do when we know that weather is coming, we go out to streets that we know flood, and we bring barricades prior to the flood. Prior to the flood. And when that street starts to flood, or prior to that street starting to flood, we barricade it. And it keeps people from, so that's why we're not hearing a lot, because this is something that we have been doing, and I'm not saying what you're saying isn't a good idea. I'm simply saying what we do through Public Works. We've been doing this long enough to know the areas where it floods. Now, that could change because you could have a major flood somewhere, you know, and create something, but we typically bring barricades out prior.
So can I
to the
ask
flood.
you a question, Mr. Richard?
Yeah.
If you have someone that goes around that barricade and causes damage
That's
to one
gone
of
to their
your
house?
residents,
That's actually gone to their home? Because we're
No,
gonna
no,
have,
no.
it's gonna say road closed.
so if someone goes around it and causes a wake
But
and
then
causes
that's when-
damages,
That's when your sheriff can enforce it.
wouldn't you like to have a tool
Yeah,
that?
that's what I'm saying, yes.
Yeah.
But what I am saying is that when that barricade put up, it's a type 3 barricade, it's gonna say road closed.
Right.
If anyone typically gonna go through that, Natalie, is more than likely gonna be someone that live on that particular street. And listen, I'm not against what you're saying.
Right.
I'm simply telling you what we do. And once you put that type 3 barricade up there that's saying road closed, the sheriff can enforce that. So, but not, I'm not saying I'm against what you're saying at all. I'm simply trying to tell y'all, if y'all know or may not know, what we do in Iberia Parish when.
Yeah,
that's for
and I
streets.
think that's great. I'm glad we do it, and I'm glad it helps. But I don't see the harm in
I don't
giving
either.
the
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I see a harm either. I'm simply was trying to explain to you what we guys do prior to a flood. I'm not saying there's a harm.
And we have Councilman Michael Landry.
It's a question. We're gonna have to have signage go along with this. I'm asking. That's a question. Yeah.
No.
That's a,
You don't need any signs.
That's a question. Driving through. No, I'm asking.
No, you do not need a sign.
I'm asking the question, and
Mr. Landry.
I'm good.
You
I'm
good?
good.
All right.
I'm good.
Next we have Councilman Brock Pellerin.
That was kind of where I was going with, because I know on the waterway, we did this in St. Mary Parish at, on the Quintana. We established a no-wake zone from the boat landing to past the Quintana, and we had to go through St. Mary. And of course, they had to post proper signage with the ordinance on there. And that's kind of where I was going at, because I mean, you can't be stupidity of the law. I mean, you just got to know the laws. But to answer your question, Warren, I know this is a different event, but I didn't see anything with this latest rain. But you know, for one of the last hurricanes, major hurricanes that we had, and we had flooding, I've seen multiple, and it's more your younger generation with big trucks just going to be nosy, and people that were like that close from water getting in their house when they run through, then you got waves of water coming through. So I'm not saying this is a major issue that has, you know, when the flooding happens, but, you know, I've seen it happen on other occasions. I yield back.
Yield back. Next we have Councilman Chad Mutchran.
Yeah, I agree with what she's getting at. It. The only thing I got a concern is like we have that stretch along 90, Genesis Pipe, Trigon, Yanmar dealership, and those businesses. They always take on water, and I mean vehicles are gonna pass through 90. I mean, what do you do for that scenario when you got all of these vehicles running up and down that frontage road? And I think the answer to the question, one of the other questions was, who and are they gonna enforce it? I mean, we see already we have a lot of crap that's not being enforced, but that's the only thing is we've sat through many of meetings at Genesis Pipe. I think Larry's been there, and Marty rest his soul.
In fact, you and I are trying to get this stuff right now done with Public Works dealing with Trigon.
Yeah.
Where we doing slash busing right now.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of work
We're
right
trying
there.
to do a levee per se along the back by the channel. In fact, when the flood came the other day, I intentionally didn't go to Trigon. I talked to Pat, but I didn't go to Trigon because it was water. And I was concerned that I mean, you got to be smart enough to, you have to think about what you're doing. I don't want to say smart, but you don't want to drive through
Common
water
sense.
and there you go, and put water in someone's building. But again, first thing we do when we find out something like that is getting ready to happen, we try to close it up.
I would love that, you know, we put this on the books and it's never ever used. That means there's never been an event that we've had to use it. But at the same time, if you have a situation, I'd like to give the tool to the law enforcement officers to be able to help out the citizens.
No, I get it. Look, somebody that's went through a flood, this last thing you want to deal with is somebody else putting more burden on you, you know. I get it. I just,
Mutchran.
You know,
I'm done.
Yield back. Right.
This
Seeing
is
no
the
further
state law
discussion,
that
these
talks-
voting machines.
This is your state law right here that tells you what's the deal.
Mr. Pollard, you want to say
Oh,
something?
yeah.
She got to do the vote.
He might.
I'm just gonna look this up later.
No, we're not,
We'll hold our
I'm not
vote
gonna
for
make a
now.
comment. We good.
No,
We're just talking
we
about,
good?
we good.
Revote. And that motion fails. All right, I need a motion to end Public Safety Committee. Motion by Councilman Warren Gustafson, second by Tommy Pollard. These voting machines to close. And this meeting is adjourned. It is 8:02. Turning it back over to Mr. Scott Ronsonet with Finance Committee.
I now call the Finance Committee meeting to order. The date is June 11th, 2025. The time is 8:04. Item number 1, Madam Clerk.
Discuss and consider a resolution adjusting the 2025 Iberia Parish non-expendable library trust fund budget in the amount of $1,950,000 based on millage tax passed in May 2025.
I need a motion. I have a motion by Mr. Landry. I have a second by Mr. Trahan. Mr. Landry.
I want you to explain this one to me.
All right, if you don't mind, without objection, I'll explain this. All this is when we did the budget back in November, December,
Yeah.
we put 0 in the revenue column because we did not have a tax at the time. However, since then, March, the tax has passed, so we have to update our budget. Otherwise, when it comes audit time, they're gonna be like, well, how did you get 1.95 and you budgeted 0? That's gonna look very funny, so.
All right, I'm
That-
good.
That's gonna be the first one that's gonna show up because of the discrepancy is so big. Yes, so
that's
that's all
good.
this is, it's the tax pass and we have to go ahead and adjust.
I'm good with that.
We wanna pass
Let
it.
everybody else do
Otherwise,
that.
y'all coming to the meeting with me in the audit. You good, Mr. Landry, you good?
I'm good.
Mr. Tron, you good?
I'll waive, Chair.
Seeing no further discussion, please vote your machines. Yep. Move to adjourn. Mr. Garshasan, second by Mr. Capel, vote your machines. No, not debatable.